there. In honor of tax day, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk to you a little bit about finances. And I'm going to have some show and tell here in a little bit. But first of all, I wanted to talk about our financial Achilles heel. We all have one. It may be different from person to person. So we're going to talk about what I think are the 4 major Achilles heel that you can have. Got my notes here so I don't forget any pearls of wisdom. So here we go. Number 1, are you a rationalizer? If this is your Achilles heel, here's a symptom that may tell you that that's your problem. You can always find a reason why you should get something. It will come in handy. I always wanted one. I'll pay for it somehow. Well, on that last one, let me tell you, somehow often comes sooner than you think it's going to, and you can get in deep doo-doo. So this is not necessarily a good thing. So if this is your financial Achilles heel, how do you cure it? How do you take care of it? Well, you can rationalize for getting something. You can also rationalize for not getting something. So if you are tempted to rationalize your way into expenses that you shouldn't be spending, you might try reasoning with yourself on why you can't get that. Maybe you can't afford it. Or maybe if I'm meant to have that, it will be available later. So if you're a rationalizer, don't go to the dark side. Use your rationalizing to keep yourself out of financial trouble and to cover that financial Achilles heel. Here's another one. Maybe you are a guilt spender. If you're a guilt spender, you will often, you'll give to everything. You'll give at the office. You'll contribute for the group gift to somebody you don't even know, or maybe you don't even like, but you feel guilty if you don't, and what will people think of you? When you go to the store and they say, would you like to round this up? It's going to blow your grocery budget even if you round up by 50 cents, but you'll do it because, well, you'll feel guilty if you don't. So, another thing you'll do is if your kids ask for something, you'll cave, you'll give it to them because you feel guilty to say no. Well, little guilt spender, here is my tip for you. You don't have to feel guilty. You can't afford to give to the whole world. Pick the causes that speak to you, that you want to give to. And when it comes to your children, learn to say, not right now, we can't afford it, or just plain no. If it's something your child is dying to have and you love to be able to give it to them, but you can't afford it, then the next thing you want to do is, let's see if we can find a way to get this for you. Let's see if we can find a part-time job for you, or a part-time job for me, or a part-time job for somebody to make this work. But don't let guilt be the motivator that makes you spend money, because you will spend money you don't have, and even though you will assuage your guilt, you'll still feel crummy later that you spent that money and that you don't have it to pay for maybe some things you need to pay for. Okay, here's another one. Maybe your Achilles heel is that you are a dreamer. This is often people who are very entrepreneurial and they want to start a business. And you know, one of my favorite quotes was Walt Disney, who said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And that's great, and you can. And we love movies where the person succeeds against all odds, but sometimes you don't succeed against all odds. Sometimes you go over the financial cliff. So it's really important, if you have an urge to start a new business, or you're going to launch into something new or move someplace, to have a plan in place for how you're going to make that happen, to have a budget pre-made, and to plan to start small. You don't have to start grandiose. You can start on a smaller scale. Also, I think it's good to have an exit plan. Give yourself a time limit. If this business doesn't take off in X amount of years, if we are still struggling in 2 years and up to our eyeballs in debt, we are pulling this thing off life support. So make sure that you do those things to take care of yourself if that happens to be your Achilles heel. It's great to be a dreamer. It is great to be entrepreneurial, but you cannot let the dream take you down and bankrupt you. So protect that financial Achilles heel with a plan, man. Okay, here's the last one, and this tends to be me a little bit. Maybe bargains are your Achilles heel. Maybe 50% off are the best words you've ever heard. I know that's me. I love a bargain. Oh my gosh, I love a bargain. And I tend to be a rationalizer, so I can always rationalize why I should get that bargain. Years and years ago, when our kids were little, we wound up getting a summer cabin for $1,500 because I came home and told my husband, this is such a bargain, how can we not do this? Well, by the time we paid for putting up the summer cabin, insulating the summer cabin, wiring and plumbing the summer cabin, it didn't turn out to be such a fabulous deal. So be careful of those deals. One thing you don't want to do, if you happen to have this particular problem, don't leave your Achilles heel exposed by window shopping, surfing the net. Don't go out with enablers who will say, oh, those shoes, they're fabulous, you have to get them. Well, no you don't if you can't afford them. If you can afford things, go for it, that's great. But if you can't, not so great. And I want to talk about when it comes to bargain hunting, maybe you can't afford to go shop in the store, but there is the underground economy. Garage sales, thrift stores, all those good things, even white elephant parties, you never know where you're going to find treasure. And I have a few of my treasures I'm going to share with you. These cute wine glasses. Got these at a thrift store. There was a set of 8. I didn't put them all out. $8. So that was $1 a wine glass. Pretty good deal. Fiestaware mugs. I think I paid $5 for these, set of 4. I love this gorgeous vase I got at a garage sale years ago for just a couple of bucks. It's fabulous. These little candles, 50 cents. How cool is this? I love these. And I put different candles in them for different times of year. If it's the holidays, I have a more glitzy red holiday candle that I put in. This little guy, he's normally over by my stove, came with, I can't remember, I think this was maybe $5 also, with all the utensils. I love this, and it's very handy, and I would have paid a lot more for that in the store. Let's move on a little bit further here to my goodies. I'm going to have Gerhardt, who's helping me with this, pan out and show you some of our other treasures. Look on the wall hanging there, that retro clock. How cute is that? And Gerhardt found that at the dump. He first came home with that thing and I thought, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? But I've actually grown very attached to it. It's fun and it was free. How can you go wrong with free? And let me show you here this lamp. Another thrift store bargain, $15. We've had this thing forever and I love it. It's great. And our little coffee table here. By the way, we're in our little summer home, and I furnished most of this, everything in the kitchen, and a lot of the furniture I found at garage sales. This coffee table, $15. How can you go wrong with that? So all kinds of fun things that we've had. There are always ways to save yourself financially. One of the first ones to remember, though, is always protect your financial Achilles heel. Look for those bargains, and happy tax day.